Now that we know some things, we let love give us wings. It's free, it's the key, it's for you and me. You and me. So let's discover love's great wonder. Let's discover the spell we are under. With Mililli, love. Hello, I'm Merlin, Mililli. Welcome to the Love Show, where we grapple with the question, what is love? Today we want to know, is love a reciprocal thing? Do we need to give love back if love is given to us? According to Anne Ream, ATR-BC, LPC at goodtherapy.org. I'm not sure what all of those letters stand for, but she seems to be a therapist. According to Anne, love is a reciprocal thing. She wrote an article in 2010 entitled Relationships and the Importance of Reciprocity. Now, some of you may be thinking, what do reciprocal numbers have to do with love? And the answer is absolutely nothing. It's not a math thing. This reciprocity we speak of, or the act of being reciprocal, it's like returning the favor in life. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Nonetheless, Anne from Good Therapy, the therapist, says, reciprocated love and emotional contribution are behavioral investments that sustain a committed relationship. So according to Anne, a mature relationship includes reciprocation, but she says that requires long, intimate talks about each other, your limits, expectations. I suppose one does have to be mature to have a mature relationship, but is this mature just a euphemism for sex? Here at the Love Show, we have proven again and again that love is not sex. Sex is not love. I'm also finding a lot of therapists that confuse the two. Children are capable of reciprocation, of love. They're not mature in any sense. I have seen my love reciprocated to me by my children. So what say you, Anne, about that? Perhaps your academic mind is in the gutter. When I speak of love on the Love Show, I never mean sex. Ever. And no one should ever be having sex with children. Ever. They are underdeveloped. Incomplete works. Leave them alone. And so I am talking about children reciprocating real love. Actual love. From their hearts. From God. Pure love. Wow. Almost a decade ago now, I was separated from my husband, going through a divorce, raising 3 kids by myself. And I had a stroke. My kids were so kind and so compassionate and understanding to me. They didn't have to be, but I had been to them for so many years. Their whole lives. So I guess they wanted to reciprocate. Or perhaps that is love's nature. But my son was the oldest at the time, and he was only 14. And my daughters were like 5 and 6. But yet, they helped me, and we got through it. That was love. Reciprocated. Just in time. I found an article from Medium.com by Christopher D. Connors entitled The Power of Reciprocity, The Way Relationships Work for Everyone, from January of 2017. In the article, he actually quotes John Lennon saying, John Lennon said this, "We've got this gift of love, but love is like a precious plant. You can't just accept it and leave it in the cupboard or just think it's going to get on by itself. You've got to keep watering it. You've got to really look after it and nurture it." I agree with John. All you need is love. And to reciprocate it. Seems he felt the same way. Christopher ends his article with, I quote, "Transformational relationships are born of empathy, careful listening, curiosity, and love. Love is the gift we can offer to others and the gift we can receive in warmth and gratitude. Lead with love, but also tap into your unique talents and skills to determine how you can add value to the lives of others. Before long, you'll see that the more you give, the more you receive in return. Live boldly. I say love boldly. He says, though, within the article, and I quote, "For those of us who seek God, we want to return the favor to those who help us. And at best, we want to give without expecting anything in return. This is a mindset." He says, "Take it into consideration." He says, but he presents us with a paradox. Reciprocating will get you more love, but you shouldn't expect it. Don't give to receive, but when you give, you do receive. We'll remind you of that, but a little confusing in its messaging, isn't it? Just a little vague. As a parent, I present the same paradox, though, to my children. I tell them that. Yet another paradox. Christopher goes on to speak of this, and I quote, "taker's mentality that drives this paradox." He says this taker's mentality is highly destructive and demonstrates a lack of self-awareness. It's inherently selfish, shows that we're not prepared, and demonstrates that we really don't care. Whether people implicitly tell you or directly say it, they want to be a part of a giver's relationship of reciprocal value. That's the end quote. So whether people tell you or not, they want you to reciprocate. It's just nice. I think that taking love from someone without reciprocating is like stealing, right? Taking something without paying for it. I think that we've learned here that you shouldn't take love unless you're prepared to reciprocate it evenly. You have to give at least what you get. If you got a lot, then I guess you have to give more. Love begetting more love again. I'm pretty sure that is at least how it makes more love. How it grows. How love grows. How love begets more love. Yes, I think we can say that love is and should be reciprocal, a reciprocal thing. But it isn't always. You shouldn't expect it. Or should you? I mean, if it is a reciprocal thing, maybe you should expect it. thinking you should expect it. But when it is not being reciprocated, perhaps that is your cue to exit the relationship. I can think of 10 examples at least of people in relationships who could have saved themselves much time, effort, and heartache if they entered it thinking that they should expect reciprocation of their love. Immediately. If not certainly by the first year, I know people wasted years and years thinking, oh, they'll come around. I mean, I know I heard and learned that it is selfish and wrong to give expecting to get. I ran free kitchens for many years and gave and gave and gave. Love, time, effort, kindness, compassion. And the takers took and took and took and took and took. Robbed my donation can and took and robbed my food supply and took without ever reciprocating, not even a little. I fed millions of people for free without asking for anything in return. But all I got in return was about 20 actual thank yous and a small bit of help in the kitchen and a few food donations, but absolutely no love, no kindness, no compassion whatsoever. I got some death threats, but nothing even remotely like love. Should I have expected it? If I did, I would have stopped a couple of months in. Would have gone years and years of pain and suffering. People using me up. I mean, that's what they did. It's just kind of use me up. One of the best gifts I got from giving was actually when I expected reciprocation, but I didn't get it in the way I was asking. I was actually asking for money one of the few times I was selling food outside the burning and pillaging Woodstock in 1999. They were selling food inside for much more than I was asking outside, and the tickets were really pricey, and they took the kids' tent stakes and their canned goods, and it rained, and the tents were all over the place, and it was a mess, and they wanted so much for the food inside, and so much for little tiny bottles of water. It was absurd, really. So I'm selling beans and rice for $3 a plate outside, Saturday afternoon, evening, and a girl walks by. She's really skinny. She turns around, she walks by again, but this time she sniffs the beans and rice. And then she walks by again, sniffing the beans and rice. So I stop her and I ask her, "Are you hungry?" And she says, "Oh, I don't have any money." I said, "I didn't ask you if you had any money. I asked you if you were hungry." "Are you hungry?" She sighed and said, "Yes, I'm starving." And I loaded her up a bigger plate than anybody got that day of beans and rice. And I just gave it to her. And after all, I had just come from the National Rainbow Gathering where I ran the main kitchen and fed thousands of people for free, and went on from the burning and pillaging Woodstock to the real anniversary at the actual site in Bethel at Yasgur's farm, where I ran another free kitchen that fed thousands of people for free. A couple of those big gatherings, and you hit 1 million pretty quick. Ha, Mickey D's ain't got nothing on me. My sign could say over 1 million served without asking for a dime. The girl at the burning and pillaging Woodstock ate up every bit of food on her plate, and then thanked me profusely and told me how nice I was, and just the color in her face after she ate. Color where she'd been pale and lifeless before. Just that she looked better. For me. Was enough. It was enough of a thank you. But she reciprocated. She ate all of it, she thanked me, and she benefited in a way I could physically see from our exchange. I didn't get any money out of that exchange, but I got more. I got love, and so did she. That, friends, is love and reciprocation, because love is a reciprocal thing. And I think we should expect it to be reciprocated. I think that's the natural way it works. So give and get some love. That's how we grow it, kids. That is how we grow it. I love you. Thanks for watching.